How's it, guys? It's Davey FPL and welcome back to the Deadline with Davey live stream. This live stream is going to revolve around the upcoming Game Week 22, which is just under 55 minutes left. I do apologize for being slightly late. As Vincent's saying, is there any chocolate milk? Well, guys, what just happened was I got a chocolate milk and it was off. So I don't exactly know what that's going to tell about Game Week 22, but let's just say it hasn't started off too well. So unfortunately, no chocolate milk, as mentioned. But we're going to see. So Darth is saying you're on mute. So let me know if I'm on mute, but as far as I know, I can see myself speaking. So Darth, you might just have me muted, brother. So just check your audio there. But yeah, unfortunately, guys, I don't really know what to say. Game Week 22 might be a red arrow. So it's not looking too great, to be honest. So just let me know. A couple of people saying that we can't hear you, but as far as I can see, I can see the audio moving, so just let me know if it's still going to continue or if it's fixed or anything like that. I'll just pause and let you guys get back to me. Yeah, it's no point answering any questions unless you guys can hear me. So just let me know if you guys can hear me. That'll be appreciated. Can maybe go on my actual so Vincent's saying that we can hear you perfectly. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to continue as always, but just let me know if it's not improving or something like that. Patrick came nice and early saying happy new year, mate. Happy new year to you too, Patrick, saying is Gabriel centre back worth a -8 to bring in this week? Okay, so I don't think I would say it's a -8. It's okay, actually I kind of get what you're saying, Patrick. What you're saying is that you would need 2 additional transfers to get Gabriel for funds. So I understand that. I don't think a -8. I think a -4 is okay, but I think a -8 is stretching it a bit too much. Unless the player that you're going to bring in alongside Gabriel also looks pretty decent, then it might be fine. But I think a -8 is too much for me. And in terms of Haaland or TK, I'm swaying between the two. We used to be a cultured FPL community. What happened to the early kickoff? Everyone is captaining early Haaland, but he has the early kickoff. As Gandhi says, never back the early kickoff. Could this be the week for Ekatike? I don't know. I think I would have liked Ekatike to maybe have a bit more fitness before this, and if he was on penalties, then maybe it looks better. I just think there's too many facets for Haaland to score points in that it's looking a bit bad to kind of go against him. Audio. Okay, so let me just maybe restart the stream. I don't know if it's just me. Let me maybe go and check. I'll go and watch my own stream and see if it looks okay. Let's go here, then let's go lives, and then let me listen. Okay, I got an ad. Let me just skip the ad. Okay, for me it looks fine. I'm going to just kind of talk because now I'm not really speaking or doing anything. So, okay, for me it looks okay. So I've switched it off there. It was giving me a bit of a lapse. Maybe just restart the stream if possible. Okay, DeRichi, so your question, yeah, subscribers are only allowed to message in chat. So it's just something that a lot of streamers put on because it just prevents a little bit of spam. So unfortunately, you have to subscribe to the channel to message. It is for free though, don't worry. It's just a little bit of a kind of security thing, I guess, that YouTube puts on. So unfortunately, yeah, he's going to have to subscribe, or she's going to have to subscribe to ask a question. Otherwise, you, Dorichi, can ask the question for them. Never back the early kickoff, as you're saying. Let's see what happens. And also, I think it takes like a minute after you subscribe to be able to send the messages to kind of check that. Okay, I'm just going to get back to some of the earlier questions. Sorry, I missed it. Sagar, I was just saying, how's it, Davey? How was the week, brother? So this week was pretty hectic. I mean, I think a majority of people went back to work this week. So The office was busy again. I had to go in a few times, but there's also been a lot of action. So if you guys watch cricket, SA20's been around, so it's been nice to kind of edit in the background to having it on the screen. Didn't make as many videos as I would have liked this week just because of how hectic work was, but it's been a good week, overall. And how was your week? Let's go pants up, says Siddharth. Yeah, pants up for the start of the stream, guys, please. Don't want any of that content. Andrew saying, good morning, Evie. What's your transfer plan today? Are you going to roll your transfer? So I've already done one transfer. I brought in Enzo for Cunha, I think 2 days ago before his price rise. I mentioned this in my team selection video, if you guys didn't go and check that out. But I think today it's Minter out. So we could start Anderson against Leeds and keep Minter. But if you saw the press conference, the Brighton manager said that Minter is an option. So what does that even mean? I don't even think he's going to start again. So it's going to be Minter out. And I'm deciding between Harry Wilson or Tavernier. So that's basically my transfer plan. Unless we take a big punt. But I think I'm probably just going to go and make a more of a medium-term transfer. And just bring in someone a bit cheaper. Mukiele versus Cunha this week. I've Rofs goals. So I'd probably go. I don't think if you're going to keep Cunha, I'd play him. I think he's a great FPL option when he gets minutes. So I don't think against Man City he can't get anything. I mean, that Man City defense isn't fantastic. So I would still play Cunha. But if you guys are worried about playing Mukiele, I think I would be fine playing him as well in a back three. So, sure. And that's kind of my answer to that question. No worries, Durichi. No, you can always ask any question. Yep. Captaining DCL, says Sid Barber. Okay, that's an interesting strat. Great form, arguably the best form. Just one play of the month. I mean, I think that he could do well. I think it's a bit out there, definitely. But, I mean, I think his price is making people maybe not captain him. Sadesh, no. So, I don't know if I saw your team on Discord, but no, I said maybe someone had a similar team to you. But if you have Lafie instead of Minter, I would just roll the transfer. There's no need to take him out. How's the ankle injury? It's healed now. I've been back playing. I haven't returned to football yet, but I've been playing paddle for like a month. So, yeah, back. It's still occasionally sore, but as mentioned, haven't gone back to footy yet, but I'm probably going to go back fairly shortly. Foden, Thiago, or Voltemade, which player should I bench? So Voltemade is easy because you never know when he's going to start or whether he's going to be benched. It's a good fixture though, so I might punt on him. I guess maybe wait and see. If Foden gets benched, we will probably know about it before the deadline, so then you can just kind of easily bench him. But out of those three, I would try and play all of them. Like, just check if you have maybe a cheaper midfielder or cheaper defender that you could just bench. Also, Everton defense or Brentford defense. Brentford's on better form. Everton's defense hasn't looked fantastic, but I would probably say this week it's away from home for Everton. I don't think that's great. For Brentford, it's also away from home. I might just go for Tarkowski if you have him for the DEFCON. That's what I probably would say. But Collins is also great for DEFCON. But yeah, it's very close. Wait and see, Dorichi. When we go over the projected points, actually what I'll do for you is let me just go take a little sneak peek. Let's just take a little sneak peek at it, and I think that'll confirm. Okay, so Brentford versus Everton. Okay, Everton slightly preferred, so go for Everton assets. Foden to Semenyo. Stanley a bit too sideways for me, I won't lie. Tor Christopher, Chalobah to Tarkowski, and Foden to who? I would just keep Chalobah. As far as I know, he's not injured, right? I mean, he has great fixtures coming up. I probably would just keep him. And I'd also just keep Foden for the next two. Enzo, I feel as a flop, already has peaked. Okay, cool. Back to 6. Yeah, so I mean, maybe, but I would keep Chalobah and I'd keep Foden as well. Is Tarkowski a hold or a sell? The fixtures aren't terrible. I'd probably just keep. Unless you want to do like a Gabriel. But I don't think there's many other defenders that I really want to own at this moment. So I would say you just kind of keep with them. And then when the good fixtures hit for Chelsea, for example, then you can do a simple swap. Clean sheet odds. Okay, we'll get them. I'll probably show them about 15 minutes. So you guys can get your early questions in. I'll answer some questions and then we can go over those projections to clarify kind of my answers. Just going to go back in chat a little bit. Transfer and Wilson or Tavernier. Harry, that's my debate this week, brother. I'm still pondering both. I think Wilson Wilson's good if you think he's going to continue, obviously, whereas Tavernier might have slightly more potential, but I think both options are great. Sorry if you can hear the plane in the background. How's it, Davey? What to do with Minte? I've got 2.1 in the bank. Should I upgrade to Enzo or do Tavernier/Wilson? I would probably do Enzo if you don't have him. I think he's my favorite. I am considering the Gakpo-Wirtz punt or Szoboszlai punt. The thing about it, though, is with the shape of my team, I think I might need a free transfer coming up. So to do that seems like a bit more of a luxury because, yes, they have better fixtures, but that doesn't mean that a Tavernier or an Enzo or a Wilson can't do well in these next two, and you probably want them more medium term. So I don't know. I'm leaning towards maybe free transfers being a bit sacred at the moment, rather just do a more medium term than a Gakpo or Wirtz. But yeah, so you're going to keep Cunha hits? Is that what you're going to do? What's your thoughts on Lewis Hall? Fixtures starting to get worse. Yeah, so I'm probably going to take him out in the future, depending on how it looks. It might be a Chelsea option, might be someone else. I might just keep him because at this stage, without owning a Saka, I have so much money in the bank anyways. So I might be able to swing a few things and maybe just keep him for the good fixtures. Wirtz captain thoughts. I'm a big believer of the early kickoff. Okay, so if you're not going to go for Haaland, yeah, I think Wirtz is okay. I think Ekitike might be slightly better, just more of a focal point. But Wirtz is fine. I mean, there are a few other good options this week, but yeah, if you're not keen on the early kickoff for Haaland, I think Liverpool's where it's at. If you don't own an Ekitike, Wirtz is safe, but yeah, captaining Wirtz over Haaland's a bit tough, Durici. I won't lie, when you think about it like that. Juan or Jean, thank you for, I think it's probably Juan, thank you for the super chat, saying, should I do Anderson to Enzo this week or save the free transfer? Nottingham Forest have a bit of a tough game against Arsenal. You're almost locking in DEFCON though. So I say Anderson probably gets 4 points this week, which is pretty okay. I think I would maybe just keep and then see how Chelsea perform because we don't exactly know how Enzo's going to set up in that new manager lineup. So I think Anderson's okay to keep, especially because it's basically a guaranteed DEFCON week for him. Akash is saying, hope you're doing well. I'm thinking about keeping Semenyo. What do you think? I think that's perfectly fine. You have to understand that he's not going to start every game. But even if he comes off the bench, he is a threat. So I would say if you can get someone like a Bruno, then that makes sense even with the tough fixtures. But if there's no one reliable, then you can just keep Semenyo. D. Paul is saying, I have 4 City players, Haaland, Foden, Semenyo, O'Reilly. I think I will bench one. Who to bench of them? I probably would bench whoever we get early team news on. So let me try and get early team news for you. I'll update you guys in chat if we do get anything. But if I had to give you a prediction now, I would say maybe bench O'Reilly just because I think both teams might score. But who knows? Maybe Semenyo gets benched. That's probably more likely. I think it's probably going to be Foden and Cherky. But let's see. When to get rid of Bruno G? I think you just ride that train until it crashes, Durici, because he's just getting too many points to kind of take out at the moment. Ty the Footy Guy, what do you think is the best sub-5 defender for set and forget? Okay. I'm going to go over projected points here because I think this is going to give us some clarity on just sort of more of a long-term approach. So let's go defender and you want under 5 mil. Okay. So Collins comes in at 5 mil. I'm always a big fan of Anderson. I think the DEFCON thread is there. Senesi has good fixtures coming up. Matty Cash is a punt. He's actually been doing pretty well this season. And then otherwise, I think that you could go even cheaper and go for the Sunderland options. But I think Anderson's fine. Collins also looking pretty good with Brentford. So between those two, if you want more of a reliable player. Otherwise, you can go super cheap and just go for the Sunderland options. I think they're really strong. Philippe has been a legend member for 35 months. 1 month off the 3-year anniversary. As always, just saying hello, good luck, and have fun. What an absolute legend. Thank you, Philippe. Hopefully it's going to be a good game week for you. Do a poll for Tavernier vs. Wilson vs. Enzo's Cunha replacements. Okay, so I will do this for you, but then I might modify it for... I'll modify this for my own selfish sake later on hits. So who did you say? Enzo, Wilson, and Tavernier. Okay, so you guys can vote on this. This isn't for my team. This is for FPL Rohit's team, or it might be for your team. So you guys can vote what you want to. Mukiele or Thiao? I'll just play Thiao Kun. Tracy, good to catch up on a stream. Been out of FPL for a while. We're covering after major fall. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you've managed to recover. Sorry to hear that, Tracy. What is everyone doing? Wildcard or just transfers? Just transfers. I think it's a bit early to wildcard unless your team really needs it. And I'm not taking a hit. I think most people have a few free transfers, so it just seems like free transfers, no hits. But yeah, hopefully you recover and you're doing okay after that fall. I have 6.3 in the bank. What to do? Because my midfield is Bruno G, Wilson, Foden, Wirtz, and Brendan Johnson. Not sure if getting Saka is optimal. And Palmer, I'm tempted, but Mins. So I'd say if Saka gets the double game week, if you have a spot, I would just go for Saka. And I think Brendan Johnson to Saka looks okay. I won't lie to you, Dirichi. So that's probably what I would do. Can you afford that? I mean, you probably can with 6.3 in the bank. I mean, that transfer looks pretty decent. And then your team looks good. Barnes versus Gordon. I mean, Gordon has penalties, so that's probably what I would say. It's very slight. I don't think you want either for too much of a long term. I'm going to probably keep Gordon for the next 2 weeks and then take him to Bruno. So I'd say between them, Gordon, just because he might be slightly more reliable. Whereas Barnes, he can get the occasional massive haul, but I think minutes might be also slightly more of a concern there. Now watch Gordon get benched or something like that. Start 2 of Palmer, João Pedro, and Cherki for draft. You start Palmer and Cherki, and then you just hope that João Pedro gets benched. Cunha to Enzo. I think Cunha to Enzo / Rice or Roll. I like both moves. I think Rice if you have an open Arsenal spot, but just look for long term because. So basically, I haven't really updated this because it's not actually something that has been confirmed yet. But if Arsenal progress to the League Cup final, which they currently have a 1-goal advantage on Chelsea, then they have a double game week 26. So they're going to have 2 really good fixtures, and that's where the Saka debate comes in, because out of all the Arsenal players, who would you rather captain? It's probably going to be Saka. So that's why I think just make sure that you don't want Saka in the future, because I think Rice then blocks it off. Would you bench Cherki? I'd only bench him if we get news that he's benched before the deadline. Also, what's the plan with Keane? Probably going to keep Keane for the next 2 weeks and then assess. I don't need a defender until game week 24. And then I can either take him to Senesi, or I can try to find some funds, for example, or I could just play him if he's back in the team. But yeah, I don't think I'm too keen on keeping him though, so I probably will take him out medium term. Akash saying I have a midfield of Semenyo, Foden, Bruno G, Rice, Enzo. So should I take Semenyo out for someone else? Don't have anything in the bank. I mean, you can take Semenyo out, but I'd only do that if we know he's going to be benched today. Because otherwise he could do okay. Even off the bench, he could be fine. So I would probably keep until Wolves, because that should give us a really nice fixture next week. If he starts that, I think he's still worth keeping. Off topic, but because so much has happened all season, Trafford, who was supposed to be a temporary, has now stayed with me. Even in wildcard, I kept the money. I mean, if he's a good player for you, then he's a good player for you, Dirichi. Well done on kind of taking a punt on him, I guess. Jester saying, are you holding on to? Yeah, so I probably will hold on just because I don't need another defender. And then you've asked, should I transfer out Vortamada this week? I think you'd wait. This fixture's too good to sort of take him out this week. Yes, if we get confirmed news that he's benched is a different story, but I don't think we get that. So I would just probably keep. Hopefully the one we're going to climb the ranks. Which one to play, O'Reilly, Mukiele, or Tarkowski? It's tough between them. Let me maybe check something for you. So Mukiele is actually leading the way in terms of projected points. So maybe go for him. But yeah, it's a tough one to go between. I don't know if I trust Everton. I don't know if I trust Man City, but at least O'Reilly has attacking threat. Whereas Mukiele, you'll see shortly, but he probably has the best clean sheet chance. If you keep him, I mean, maybe if you keep It's like if you took Mark Gayu from game week 1, you're probably going to keep him. Are we set on the Minter out move? Yeah, Wilson, I'm probably going to take him out. I think I'm leaning towards Tavernier over Wilson slightly. But, yeah, let's see. Howsbro, any further moves or is this locked? Well, no, we're going to probably take Minter out. SH3 has been a member for 41 months. Absolutely insane. Do you consider Thiago for a future transfer? At the moment, I can see myself keeping Ekitike for quite a while. With my current transfer plan, unless I want a Saka, I'm probably going to keep Ekitike. I just feel like if he is back fit and he can stay fit, the leading striker for any Liverpool team with no competition is worth keeping, even if the fixtures do get a bit tougher. Let's go for a TikTok captain. I mean, maybe. What if we get leaks that Foden's bench? Wilson, if Foden's bench, that's going to be a different one. That's why maybe I'm waiting. If Foden's bench, so I probably will just play Anderson over him. I just don't want to miss out on that Wolves fixture. But I guess the argument is, if he's benched this week, maybe he plays midweek and then he gets benched next week as well. But I don't know, maybe he would have had his rest if he gets benched this week. But I know what you're saying. If Foden is out, I'd say if United had better fixtures, then maybe Bruno's an easy one. But because United have City, Arsenal, I probably will just bench Anderson and still take Minter out. Mateus Nunes, keep or sell for Liverpool defender. I'd keep him because they've got Wolves next week, so that's okay. What's the current plan? The current plan is Minter out for Tavernier, I probably would say. Is Cunha out? Vernon, I took Cunha to Enzo 2 days ago before his price rise. Have you looked at bringing Morgan Rogers? I had. Okay, so basically, the reason that I'm looking at not Rogers is because in 2 weeks' time, I have funds to do Gordon to Bruno for free. So that's why I'm still going for like a cheap replacement for Minter, just because it allows me to get Bruno in. And I consider Bruno to be one of the best FPL options. So I'd want to get him in when their fixtures do turn. If Foden's bench is another good opportunity to... So, like, it's almost jumping from one fire to another fire because there's going to be a week that Cherki's then benched and then Semenyo plays. And then... So, I think JoJo's Revenge, it's a bit too sideways for me. And that's why I'd only go for a really nailed option. And that nailed option, there's only a few. It's like a Bruno, it's a Saka potentially. So... yeah, I think I'd probably just bench Foden and play Anderson. The fixture's not the worst thing in the world. If we hear Foden's bench, should I put Tarkowski or Dorgu in the starting 11? I'd put Tarkowski probably. But actually, let's now go on to some projected points because a lot of questions have been asked about like which defender, and they're quite similar. Maybe which attacker, that sort of thing. So got Florian Wirtz there on the cover. Shout out to Wirtz. And also shout out to Rob TFPL who drops these constantly. We do the same projections, almost exactly the same. I think our sources are pretty similar in our ultimate guide. So I think I covered these in the team selection video this week, but these are the projected goals, basically how many goals a team is projected to score, as well as the predicted clean sheet. So what's the chance of them keeping a clean sheet? And as you guys can see, Liverpool at 50%. They followed just a bit of a drop off by Arsenal at 43%, so still pretty comfy projections there for the Arsenal team. And then you also have Aston Villa at 39%, so I think that's dropped from 40 to 39. So we spoke about Matty Cash, he could also be a defensive option. And then we have a whole little bit of a bigger drop off to some of these other teams. So Sunderland, 34%. We have news that Mateta might be going to Juventus, so is he even going to start? I mean, that Crystal Palace team is literally in disarray. So I think Sunderland have a good chance of a clean sheet. So I wouldn't be too worried about your Alderetes, Mukieles. They should actually get you some points. And then also like a Spurs, Newcastle. Let's hope Lewis Hall keeps a clean sheet, and then a Leeds. So I've seen some people considering Rodon versus Anderson. It seems like Rodon's the better pick with that percentage. So you guys can kind of look over this, soak it in. There's a few things that you guys might be looking at here in terms of which defender to bench. And then the big one is kind of who should you captain? So you can see Liverpool just under 2.5 and Man City at 1.9. So you guys might be looking at this and thinking, Ekitike definitely the captain. But when you think about a Haaland and you think about Ekitike, Haaland's goal share is usually quite a bit higher than an Ekitike. So even though the projection overall is lower, Haaland might have a similar sort of goal projection because of that higher goal share. So just something to keep in mind, but definitely that Liverpool game is the one to target from an attacking point of view. And even with Brighton, I kind of wish that Minte was back fully fit because the Bournemouth at home game is not bad at all. They projected at just under 2. Actually, the second highest goal scorers this week. So kind of wish that that they did. Zakia, I sent you a super chat a while. Yeah, so Zakia, are you on the Discord? Just at me on the Discord a lot. I just keep on forgetting about it. Sorry, I do apologize. Just let me know though, and we can have a chat offline about it. So yeah, just apologize for that one. Just at me on, even if it's in the general chat. You don't even have to be a member. Just like at me, and it will remind me a bit easier. Have you considered keen to Chalobah? Yeah, I did. I just think that like the Brentford game, even though I don't have a Thiago, I don't know if it's the best point to jump on. And I do worry about who's actually going to be nailed in that centre-back pairing. I want to see a bit more certainty from those sort of players. Devin Little saying, hey, yo, good luck for the game week. Thanks to you too, brother. Wirtz or Szoboszlai in? Putting in one for Cunha. I mean, Wirtz is more exciting, but Szoboszlai is safer. So it's probably Szoboszlai, to be honest. Cool, thanks, Akia. Would you start Lacroix or Gardner? Or Garner, sorry, not Gardner, Garner. I think maybe Lacroix. Slightly. Pretty low ceilings, I won't lie to you, Winston. But I think Lacroix. Bowen, keep or sell for Ekatike. Give me a second. Yeah, I have not looked at West Ham's fixtures at all. So let me just. So they got Spurs, Sunderland. I mean, you probably keep because they also play Burnley in 4 weeks' time. Yeah, I would just keep. I think that their fixtures look okay. I mean, Bowen's also on penalties as far as I know because Lucas Paqueta seems like he's going back to Brazil. Niall is saying Enzo or Rodgers for Cunha. This is tough. I think Rodgers is probably nicer to have, let's say that. But it's what he blocks off in the future. So as mentioned with me, I'm looking at doing Gordon to Bruno. And Enzo allows me to do that for free. So I don't have to do another transfer to get funds. So it kind of opens the door a little bit for me. So that's why Enzo, because it's quite close, I'm looking at the future moves. But if I had to pick who I'd rather own, not dependent on funds, I think Rodgers would probably be the player. Thoughts on Kruppi Jr. and that Mane kid in Wolves? I might get one to funnel funds for Bruno F. Yeah. So both of them look pretty good. I mean, Kruppi is better if he's going to start, but I think Mane might be more nailed. Yeah, let's just see what happens. But I think Bournemouth are going to sign a bunch of new players. I mean, what they got like 65 mil for Semenyo. They're definitely going to sign a few. Cunha. Okay, just let me know, Dominic, what's the say? Cunha jog? I think you mean maybe Cunha starting. Okay, so yeah, apparently Cunha starts according to Let's Talk FPL. So maybe he got some news. I'm just going to check Twitter quickly in case there has been anything. Okay, I don't see anything as of now. Okay, I don't see anything as of now. It just seems like apparently Stach is injured. That's from FPL Kale, I said. Oh no, Cunha doesn't start. He's benched. Okay, I don't know. I think there's... Oh, Cunha not starting? Okay. Okay, Dominic, sorry. You said Jog there, so I don't know if Jog is not or if Jog is does or... Sorry. Okay, so you're saying that Cunha doesn't start. Okay, I mean, I guess it's good that I took him out, but you said the source isn't super reliable, so... Let's maybe see. I'm sure there'll be a more reliable source that comes out. I'm sure there'll be a more reliable play. Milos, Mukiele, or Rodon to start. That's tough. I'd probably say Mukiele out of those two. Oh, it's on Facebook, not X the source. Okay, I don't really know what to. Oh, look, I've already taken them out, so like I guess I can't really deal with it. But yeah. Start Konza or Tarkowski? I think you might go for Aston Villa. I mean, their fixture does look pretty good, so I'd probably say Konza. Saka captain too risky? I don't think it's risky. I think Saka will play and then he could get points. I can tell you in terms of projections, I don't think he's the highest player. Yeah, he's not the highest. He's quite a bit of a drop off. Quite a bit of a drop off from the others. So I'm just checking some projections here on the side. Yeah. What's your strat with the refresh chips? Okay, so I always like to do sort of like a wildcard bench boost combination. So I think it's game week 31, game week 32, probably wildcard around there, bench boost shortly after with the doubles. Triple captain whenever I can, bench boost, try and do it in a double as mentioned, and then free it in just whatever blank comes up that I think the majority of us will probably do. Probably the biggest blank game week. So I'll discuss chip strategies shortly. I just feel like nothing is confirmed as of yet, and if anyone tells you that they have a chip strategy locked in, they are just lying to you. So I'm only going to talk to you guys about chip strategy when there's actual confirmed information, because otherwise, it's just speculation, to be honest. Andy saying, going to miss the deadline, brother. What's the plan at the moment? Thanks. Okay, so the plan is Minte to Tavernier, and that's what I'm going to be doing. And then probably Haaland captain. I just don't know about Ekatike and how many minutes he's going to get. But yeah. Ahmed is saying, morning, my midfield is Foden, Semenyo, Bruno G, Rice, and Wilson. Would you take any of them out? No, I just keep all of them. Unless we get news that Semenyo's benched, or Foden's benched, I guess. Then you could move for someone else. Riley, Anderson, or Mukiele, who to start and who to bench first? I'd probably just go Mukiele. Especially after I've seen these sort of clean sheet projections from Sunderland. And then who to bench first, I'd probably put O'Reilly first bench. Any Foden news, I'd like to replace him with then by Gabriel. So nothing as of now. Okay, I see what you're talking about with the Manchester United team. But yeah, the XI does look a bit weird. Yeah, I don't know, that team does look a bit weird. I mean, it could be the team, but it does look a bit... I don't really get why you'd play Dorgu if you have all those attackers fit. Why not Minte to Gakpo? Okay, so let's sort of talk about the team then. Let me just adjust it again. So the thing about going for Gakpo is unless I want him like medium to long term, I'm probably going to take him out in 2 weeks. So I think sort of setting my team up more for the sort of medium term because it doesn't look that great. That'll allow me to use that sort of Gakpo out transfer on maybe another defender, or maybe I need funds to get Saka or someone like that. So I don't think I have the luxury of taking like a 2-week punt at this stage. And that's why, even though Tavernier might not have that good fixtures, he's got some good fixtures more of the medium-term basis. So that's my current thinking behind it, but you guys can let me know what you think. If you have like 4 free transfers, then by all means, go for a Soboslai, go for one of these more punt players. But for my team, I don't think I can afford to, basically, with the amount of free transfers I have. So yeah, I would like to go for a Gakpo, I'd like to go for a Wirtz, I'd like to go for a Soboslai, but I just don't know how it's going to work out. What do you think about Cunha / Keane to Enzo / Timber equals 3 Arsenal defenders? Yeah, those moves look pretty good. I like them. Should I bench James and Palmer? Yeah, I don't know. So Palmer was training this week, so play Tarkowski or Dorgu plays at left wing, Vincent. I mean, it sounds like you're trying to convince yourself to start Dorgu, so like you can go from if you like it. Cherky bench, Dave. Okay, let me check. Did anything drop? Okay, I don't see anything with Cherky as of now. Is Gabriel a must for this game week, or can we get him in next week? You can get him in next week, but like kind of the sooner you do it, the better, because he's just rising in price. So you can, but the Arsenal chance of a clean sheet is super strong. So as long as the defender you're taking out has a bit of a tougher game, I think Gabriel's a good transfer in. And even for a -4, he probably repays you that in the long run anyways. So I don't mind like the odd -4 for him. Is it okay, Semenyo to Enzo? I think I would wait just a little bit longer, because if Semenyo starts against United, I like him as a player. Yeah, Wilson, I don't know, it looks like Cunha bench, but that lineup looks terrible. Like, it doesn't look like a great lineup to me. If that's the lineup, let's just say this, if that's the lineup, I'm pretty fine with captaining Haaland. But watch United go and pull out a madness now. Dubravko, Sanchez as goalkeepers. Yeah, I'd go Sanchez this week. Start Cunha or Van Hecke. Well, I mean, if this news is correct with Cunha being on the bench, then it looks like Van Hecke. It looks like Van Hecke. Let me just check if I missed anything. Yeah, Existence has asked, Yodevi, when are you planning to make transfers if there's no info? Oh, I'm probably going to make transfers already, because I don't think I'll take Foden out if he's benched. I think I'm going to do the Minte move anyway, so we can almost lock that in. I just want to make sure that like there's not anything that's a super mad transfer. So I think 10 minutes to go, I'll lock in the team. Bench order Mane or Krupi? I'd probably go for Krupi. Can't afford Enzo. Caicedo a good option. No, I'd probably just go for Lafi then, or Tavernier. Dirichi saying, please United, out of all the game weeks, don't win today. So imagine they like roll over for Man City today, and then next week they go and like get really stuck in. I mean, that'll be probably pretty annoying for Arsenal fans. I'm stuck with Hincapie. Will he start today? Let me check for you, but I looked at some projections and it wasn't looking great. No, Hincapie, no one predicted Hincapie to start, so I would take him out even if it's from -4. Should I start Fulham Anderson or Cash? I'd go Matty Cash. Matty Cash is a great fixture this week, and he's actually been doing pretty well. Shane Dorgu does start, but I'm a bit unsure about this lineup. It looks a bit weird. Unless they're going for like a 45-minute... Yeah, Hincapie's injured, as Wilson's saying. So unless United are kind of going for like maybe like a 45 minutes where they try and contain, and then second half they bring on like a Cunha, these other players that maybe can go against them. But yeah, I don't know. DeRicci saying Davey slot in or out. Xavi Alonso in the market. Can't believe Madrid sacked him. Yeah, I can't believe it. I don't even know if they sacked him or if it was mutual separation. Am I slot in or out? I'm slot out. But yeah, I never like to kind of be super negative about a manager or that sort of thing. But yeah, on the side, because you asked me, I'm slot out. Who are the super differentials for this game week? I like a Matty Cash, as you've mentioned. That's a great fixture. One of the Brighton assets. Bournemouth have been that great defensively. Who else? I think if you can maybe go for like a Gakpo, I think he's not that highly owned, so he could be quite a nice one. I think Soboslai is also pretty lowly owned. He's more of a sort of engaged manager pick. I think he looks pretty good. I'm just trying to think of the fixtures. And I think maybe someone from like a Leeds will come out or Fulham will come out looking pretty good. Which 3 differential captains would you go for? If I wouldn't go for Haaland, I think I would next go for Liverpool assets. Whoever you own, I think in order it's probably like Ekitike, Soboslai, Wirtz, Gakpo. Otherwise Saka. If Saka starts, he's got a good chance. That's where I would probably look. Cammy saying, best of luck, Dave. You got the Semenyo, Foden, Haaland triple up. Hopefully they bang. Well, Cammy, hopefully you slightly of a Man City fan because I think that you're going to be hoping. Stick with Paqueta. I got rid of Minte for him like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah, Manuel, that's a super unlucky one. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's, as far as I know, it seems like he was a doubt, but he could play. Just have good bench coverage. Otherwise, you can take him to a Tavernier for free. Christian saying you said slot out. Yeah, it's basically Xavi Alonso if he was available. I wouldn't sack slot if there wasn't someone available that was going to come in. And I feel like Xavi Alonso is a pretty good manager. I think he's a bit more suited to the club. So, but yeah, I don't know where he's going to go. Vernon, sorry for being annoying. Vernon, you have not been annoying at all, brother. I don't even know why you're saying that. But who would you take out, Cunha or Foden for Gakpo? Cunha. I'd keep Foden because Foden has Wolves next week. He might not play, might play. We'll see. Early kickoff, because Andy, exactly. As Andy and as Gundy say, never back the early kickoff. I don't know. I'm just like as a Liverpool fan, and I guess that maybe I'm a bit biased like that, but like we haven't looked fantastic, you know. And against the low block, we're not great. Ekitike starts from lazy FPL, yeah, but I would have said Ekitike does start. But I guess it's nice to have some clarity there. Does that make us captain him though? That's interesting that they got Liverpool news before Man City news, because usually they have a few Man City news. Thanks, Wilson, though. Appreciate it. Why Tavernier over Wilson? It's just like, it's hard to explain. I think maybe I'm banking that Wilson's form doesn't continue that much. He does have pretty okay fixtures. Yeah, he's fine. Like, between him and Tavernier, it's close. I just like Tavernier's potential slightly more if he does kind of take penalties, that sort of thing. I think he's a fine pick, yeah, Deuce. I don't know. I don't think he's an amazing pick, but he is 5.5. Like, I'm not expecting the world from him. What's the captaincy ranking outside of Haaland? If you want to go over projected points, it's Haaland, Liverpool assets, whether that be Ekitike, Szoboszlai, and then a bit of a drop-off to Saka. If you want to know how good of an option Bruno is, Bruno's projection is 0.1 higher than Saka with the tougher game. So, but yeah, I think if I wasn't going to go for Haaland, I would go for... thanks, Vincent, for the tag as well. I would go for Liverpool assets. And as a Liverpool fan, yeah, I'm conflicted. I'm a bit conflicted. But yeah, we got about 10 minutes and a half, 20 to go. So I should probably lock in the move. Okay, let me actually, let me end the poll. Let me do a new poll here for CamC. Okay, you guys can vote quickly. Let's just try and vote as quick as we can on this poll. And then you guys can let me know this is who your captain is. Let me know who you're captaining at the moment. 5% on other. Is that like a Foden or is that someone else? Because other's pretty interesting, unless you're just kind of voting for that one. Hashem is saying, hello, do you get Rice or Enzo for Cunha? I think I prefer Rice a little bit more. But as mentioned, just make sure that that doesn't block you off from like a Saka in the future or something like that. Sky is saying, Harevi, I've got Miley, Tavernier, Enzo, and Rice in the mid. Ekitike, Haaland, Voltmata front. I also have Cherki on the bench, but I want to play him. Who would you suggest I bench? I'd probably bench Miley, but that's who I would say out of those options. Wait till 7-8 minutes should be good. Yeah, I think early team news probably comes a bit later than that. Okay, Gakpo starts if you guys want him. Yeah, so I don't think it's going to change my transfer plan. So I think we can do my move and I can lock that in, and then we can just plan on any other things. So I'm gonna do Tavernier in for Minte. Thank you, Minte, for your service. You've gotten me 2 billion price drops and hardly any points. Thank you for your service. And then vice captain on Ekitike, and then that's the team. So. Yeah, Vincent, I don't understand how we're getting Liverpool news, but I guess the Liverpool news is pretty straightforward. I mean, everyone would have predicted that that Ekitike starts. Gakpo may be a bit more interesting. Just give me a second, guys. I'm uploading this to Discord and YouTube quickly. Okay, cool. Why Tavernier? So Tavernier should be on penalties now that Semenyo's gone. And Bournemouth's long-term fixtures are actually pretty good. So he's a nice cheap little option. And the reason I'm going for him is I can afford Gordon to Bruno for free then in a few weeks' time. So Rice or Gordon for Cunha? I'd probably say Rice. Gordon literally has got me 0 points. And after this week, I'm looking to sell him. So, what about Minte to Rodgers? I also like Rodgers, but as mentioned, my plan is to do Gordon to Bruno for free. And therefore, that's what I'm looking at. Okay, so I will be refreshing here on the side for you guys. Yeah, I don't see anything as of now, so I'll check in like 2 minutes' time. Eze or Rice? Rice. I start Bowen or O'Reilly. I start Bowen. I play Chalobah or Mukiele and play Kruppi over Cunha and Verbruggen or Kelleher. Yeah, okay, that's a lot. I would start... Let me just think about this. I'd start Verbruggen. I'd bench Cunha because of the news, and I'd play Mukiele over Chalobah. Would you do Cunha to Gordon? Would you do Cunha to Rodgers? Yes, Ewan, I like that move. I think if I had more funds, as mentioned, I think Rodgers is a great option. I just feel like it blocks off too much for my future transfers. Would you keep Cherki or take a -4 to get Rice? I'd keep him unless we get news, Connor. Thought on James Garner? Yeah, he's a fine option. AFCON ends soon, so those Everton assets will be coming back, but I don't think he gets benched. Start Richards or Anderson? I'd start Anderson. I don't like Richards this week, and I don't like Crystal Palace this week because of the potential falling out of the team, basically. Should I take a -4 for Cherki to Gordon to have the same team as you? No, I just keep Cherki. Would you start O'Reilly or Anderson in defense? I think I would start... I mean, with this news of this team, yeah, United don't look great, but in terms of the projected goals and everything, Anderson's safer. Would you do Ekitike in for Watkins? No, I'd keep Watkins. Start Anderson, Forrest. Unless you want to captain a Ekitike, Gid. Start Anderson or O'Reilly or Tarkowski. Anderson has 4 points guaranteed this week. So I'd probably go for him as a safe option. Cherky, Thiago, Igor, Enzo. Play 2. Who's Igor? Oh, Igor. Oh, okay. No, I wouldn't go for Igor. I would play. I'd play Thiago and Enzo. Okay, let me see if there's any news. A lot of these questions though are very tough to answer, so you guys' teams must be stacked. Yeah, I don't see anything as of now. I don't know if Semenyo starts. We haven't had any news. And with 4 minutes to go, we might get it close. So maybe have the transfer on your website or on your app so that you can just press confirm if it does happen. Because we might get news like a minute before. I think it might block my future moves. Not sure. I have a Saka ready, but want Bruno in the future and won't be able to afford him taking out Saka, I think, without taking out Saka. So you want to keep Saka and you want to try and get Bruno. That's my suggestion to you, Ewan. So instead of going for a Cunha to Rodgers, you can go for a Cunha to someone cheaper, and maybe that allows you to afford a Bruno. That's my priority, what I would do. Start Mukiele or Anderson. I'd start Mukiele. I wish nothing but the worst from... okay, well, we can't say that, brother. We can't wish bad on players because they didn't perform, but I get you. When I read that, I was like, this sounds quite harsh. All I will say is that he took quite a while to recover. The dead leg could be bad. No, it was actually worse than we thought, but I thought he was going to be quite easy. Tarang, hi Davey, I don't have Gabriel. I have options of Anderson, Lacroix either. Also, should I get Gabriel from -4 instead? If you can, I think a -4 is worth it this week, Tarang. Can you do that? That's what I would do. Ghana or Tavernier? I'd go Tavernier. Chasing mini league, Captain Ekitike over Haaland. Kevin, this is a tough one because it's a risk. Because if everyone else captains Haaland and he does well, Ekitike doesn't do well, you're going to go down even further. So it depends on how far you are chasing. I don't think you have to go and captain Ekitike just because you're chasing this week. I think Haaland can still get you points. Ekitike will still get you points, quite a differential still. So play Van der Ven or Cash. That's tough. I think Cash slightly, but both of them have good fixtures. Now, obviously, well, I'm just pulling your leg. I get that you were joking. Don't worry. And also best of luck. Gomez, the GOAT, cost us gay. I don't know. What are you saying with Gomez, the GOAT? I don't know. I don't know what happened. All I can say is that if Gay cost Man City 20 mil, I don't know what Liverpool were doing. Unless it's like wages or something like that. That probably it is, but... Okay, I don't see anything. So I doubt we get early team sheet news. Unless it's super late, but I don't know, guys. I'll try and lock in your team as far as possible. We have just less than a minute left. Or just over a minute left. I've Cherky, Foden, Gordon, Rodgers, Rice in mid. Which one player should I bench? Out of those, I think I might bench Cherky, to be honest. No worries, Mohammed. Christian has been a legend member for 41 months, just coming in and saying good luck this game week, Davey. Absolute legend, Christian. Thank you for the continued support. 41 months is insane. That is absolutely insane. Yeah, so we haven't had any early team sheet news as far as I can see, guys. We do have 30 seconds to go. So just lock in those moves. Start Tarkowski or O'Reilly. I don't know. Kevin, you're premature, brother. You're a bit early on the TUPD. Tavernier or Voltemade. If you have Voltemade, you have to start on this week. It's Wolves. It's a great fixture. And we are officially TUPD. So I beat all of you guys to it. But don't worry, I know that you're a bit lagged. But we are TUPD. Time up. Pens down. If you know, you know. But that's going to be another Game Week 22 deadline. Now watch, I'm going to refresh Twitter and we're going to have team news. Okay, we don't. I was going to say, imagine we get team news on the deadline. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen with this sort of team news. Let's see what sort of happens. I don't think it's super essential. I think maybe it would have affected like a Foden or a Cherky, but other than that, let's see. Will Ekatike outperform Haaland? Will the early kickoff curse come for the Norwegian? I guess let's just wait and see. Northland saying, I hope you had a great start to 2026. I did. Thanks to you guys. Great stream as always. And I'll see you guys for Game Week 23 content. Hopefully Game Week 22 is an absolute banger and you guys enjoy your weekends. But for the time being, I'm going to be signing off. It's me, Davey FPL, and I'm out. Cheers. Bye.